My name is Paul Gambill, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Nori, a carbon removal marketplace. And we're here tonight at the Climate Science on Tap event where we're talking about soil carbon. Well, Nori is a carbon removal marketplace. So we are making it as simple as possible for anyone to pay for removing carbon emissions from the atmosphere and verifiably storing them safely in the earth. You should care about this because climate change is actually a very straightforward problem. There are too many greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. And the solution to that problem is to pull those gases back out and store them safely. And the bad news is we've already passed the point of no return. We can't just rely on reducing our future emissions. We have to remove our past emissions. And we're making that incredibly simple and scalable. We're making this simple by removing all of the difficulties that current buyers face when dealing with, if you're a business and you might ask, how do I deal with my carbon footprint? Like, I know that I'm emitting a lot of carbon. Maybe my employees fly around the country, or we have delivery trucks or something like that. And I can't get rid of that carbon in my supply chain. So what do I do about that? Well, we work with farmers who are adopting regenerative practices like reduced tillage, cover cropping, and crop rotations. And we work with them to get those practices verified, so we actually measure how much carbon they're removing out of the atmosphere and storing in their soils. And then we're able to sell certificates representing that carbon removal very simply to companies and individuals that want to remove their emissions. Something that most people don't know is that literally every single carbon credit that has ever been sold internationally has been double counted. And that's because if you are a project developer in Brazil and you sell those offset credits to someone in France, both Brazil and France count those as carbon reductions. The solution to that is double entry bookkeeping. It's a tool that we've had for 400 years or so. And that's what Nori is doing when it comes to carbon removal. And that's why we're using blockchain, because we're very provably and transparently able to show that a farmer removed carbon and that a buyer paid for it, and that buyer is the final purchaser and owner of that carbon. Nori is agnostic to different methods of carbon removal. So today we're working with farmers who are removing carbon, and in the future we'll work with people who are storing carbon in grasslands, in kelp, and even industrial methods for like direct air capture. What we're trying to do is scale up so that the world is capable of paying for removing billions of tons of CO2 so that we can roll back the carbon clock and actually reverse climate change itself. You can learn more about Nori by going to nori.com, that's Nori.com. We have all sorts of information about the company on there. You can pay for removing your own emissions. And we also have a couple different podcasts like Reversing Climate Change that you might want to check out.